All right, we're recording.
Okay.
So a few people had said they couldn't come tonight, so we said we would record it just to kind of keep everybody in the loop. I know Marlene and a few others like to know what's going on, so we'll share widely. But yeah, Susan, I thought it would be fun to come on and do a little recap. Um, and for those that did attend on stage, get from you kind of what you thought, what you enjoyed and what were your favorite, pieces. And so, Susan, you want to start it off and talk a little bit about the, I guess talk a little bit about the swag bag and the Heart and Home.
Sure, sure. In fact, I really loved the 3 days, and I told Melissa earlier that it was a really good mix of business information, good, solid. If you're trying to make this a business, there was a lot of goody on that, and then there was a lot of. I always say that Stampin' Up is like a choose your own adventure story. You can make this journey whatever you want it to be, and so if you want to be a hobbyist with benefits and get a discount on your purchases, great. If you want to make your car payment with this, then that's great too. And what I love about it and what I loved about these 3 days was that I really felt like whatever you want to do, whatever your adventure is in Stamping Up, the tools are there for you and you can find them. And if you can't find them, ask anybody and they will help you find whatever you're looking for. So I loved that. And with each presentation, there was a bit of, well, this is how you could use this, or this is what you could do with this, or this would go for a beginner crafter, and this is what your more experienced crafters might want to do, or stampers. And so I really encourage people, if they've not attended one of these, to think about it for the future because there's just a whole lot of inspiration and fun attached with it. So Melissa mentioned the swag bag. Well, I just happened to have one of the nicest things that came with this, and that was,
Oh,
let me move it so you can actually see.
nice.
It is such a cute little bag.
Mhm.
Love it, love it. And we got these bags. We got a stamp set, some pencils, a little cute notebook for taking notes, some grid paper, all kinds of stuff. So, and then you had the opportunity to purchase a bundle that some demonstrations were given on. And so I just happened to have that in my swag bag. Let's see. Here's the little note taker
That's
that
super cute.
pretty. It is super cute. So this bundle is called, let me get the full thing, Heart and Home Suite. And one of the most fun things about the Heart and Home Suite is that there are actually two bundles involved. So we got one of them, but there's a second one that has honeybees and all sorts of fun stuff with it too. So there's the Blessings of Home. And Melissa, I actually can share screen if I've made you host. Oh, okay. We shan't worry about it. We'll just do this. Um,
Oh, yeah.
this is the stamp set. It's beautiful. It's got two large flower groupings and then some nice sayings. The sayings have a thank you, beautiful day, have a perfect birthday. We together we can get through anything. That seems to be a really nice one for a lot of things. You're a real blessing. So lots of nice messages, and then of course a die set. And we did have someone in our group that got together on Friday say, I've just decided for every stamp set I get, I'm getting the die set because I'm tired of fussy cutting. And
Right.
why not just go ahead and get the dies if you've got the embossing machine. Also with this, there are these matte dots that are really fabulous. They are a gray, a black, and kind of a pearl, almost vanilla rather than stark white, but they will go either way, I think. And then one of something everyone is thrilled about is this denim ribbon that we've had before, but it is
Oh.
fabulous and it is so multi-purpose and wonderful. And I think you'll find lots of uses for it. And then of course the paper, the DSP is beautiful. And we had the opportunity to do 3 different cards. And so the first card that I did with this is this card right here.
Mhm.
And some interesting notes about it. The instructions had us do the DSP full on the card. I tend to make my DSP a little bit smaller. Kathy, can you see who you're raising your hand?
Actually, I cannot. So could y'all share the screen so that we could see your cards?
Let's do, Melissa, can you?
She should be there. Let me see.
Ah, ha, ha. Does that help,
Thank
Kathy?
you. Now
There
I
we
can see.
go. There we go.
Beautiful.
Yes. And so you can see this, there is some, Kathy, you're the one with the sister who's afraid of coloring, but this coloring is really easy and fun. And this is
Beautiful.
Misty Moonlight and Garden Green, and using a sponge dauber. You can see the little bit of the denim ribbon behind the message, few of the dots tossed around, and of course, I added some Wink of Stella because why not? You know, I thought it needed just a little bit of shimmer on it. And what I was saying was that normally I cut mine in a little bit to show the card base, but I made these pretty much the way it was recommended, just as a starter. So that's one.
Yeah, and I'll show, I did mine mine's a little less blue than yours.
Ah, there you go.
And I did cut my DSP in
Yeah.
just because that was what I was used to. But this shows kind of the variety of those matte dots. There's white, cream, gray, and black. And I actually liked the sponge dauber. I thought that was nice. It was a nice way to do it and not have to really color it. So
How do you color with a sponge dauber and stay in the lines?
so carefully and on the side.
Yes. See, I've got mine on my finger here, and the suggestion was just to roll it on the ink pad slightly and then just color sideways rather than daubing like we normally do.
Right.
And it worked. It worked beautifully to do that. So,
And I think it's supposed to be a little imperfect. So the idea was that it had like a watercolor imperfect look.
Right.
And that's definitely what it achieved. So, and I think for those, we definitely have people that come to our classes that hate coloring. And so I think they've heard that, you know, not everybody loves coloring. And when they see a line art image like this, they assume they're going to have to color it. And so to show them you don't have to color it is really important. And so the little tiny note card we made, Susan, that one also didn't use coloring, right? Do you have that one to show?
I do. I was going to see first if anybody else had that particular card in a different format. Did anybody else have anything else to share on that one?
Ooh.
Anybody?
Janet's got one. Let me see. Let me replace the spotlight. Ooh,
There
pretty.
we go. Janet's our go rogue girl.
Go rogue, I know.
I like that.
Nice.
With the
Nice.
stripe.
So that has a lot more
Beautiful.
blue on it, and I like the strips too.
Yeah.
Very pretty.
Yeah.
Well, and then this, well, I did that one with the daubers, like, you know, for the flowers. And this one I actually colored, so.
Oh,
With stamping blends or
No, the markers.
Wow.
Like, and 2 pieces of the DSP.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, we did our Susan's technique of splitting it.
Yeah.
nice.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
So the next one, I was prepping one day and then putting it together along with the video presentation the next day. And so I had gotten ahead of myself. And so I'll be interested to see what all people have to share on this one. This uses the project 2, uses the message, we can get through anything together. And you were not supposed to cut out the flower. It was supposed to be a whole piece. I cut out the flower, so I just continued with that. And so it is behind all of this. You can see it better in person. You can use a blender pen to kind of bring out the color, the cinnamon cider color a little bit, and that wasn't too much coloring. It was pretty easy. Um, and then I did put these little flower pieces instead of on the branches. I put them on this because there was so much white on that message piece that I thought it needed a little addition. The other thing, one other little tip that I got from this was to put your glue when you have these like strips of branches or flowers, to put your glue, your Tombow or whatever you're using, just on the middle part of it, but not on the ends, because then when you're laying it down, your fingers are not getting so sticky.
Does,
And I
does
thought
the
that was a good
Tombow
tip.
does the Tombow fully dry where it's not sticky?
It does. It does. You have to use it in small doses, but it will do that. And I did feel like I was more successful, not just putting a whole lot of Tombow, but just a little dab, and it stuck down just fine. So, what versions of this did other people do?
Let's see, I'll show you
Oh, I
mine.
like hers.
See, there's the whole
Pretty.
piece,
Yeah.
rather than me cutting it out.
Yeah, so it did feel like when Shannon said it was a shame to cover that blue paper. I mean, it definitely felt a shame, but I still kind of like it, peeking out from back
Peeking.
behind.
Yeah.
And then I ended up the way my strategy for these little things is just to put some adhesive behind the panel and kind of glue it down behind the panel. And then I just did actually glue dots for those because me and Tombow, we have a love-hate relationship. So, and there are days when I love it, and there are days when I'm heavy-handed, and and I end up with a sticky mess. So, I definitely would have used the adhesive sheets on these if I had been thinking ahead. And I think they should have probably put that on the instructions. Like, if you have adhesive sheets, you should use them.
I agree.
And then I was like, that was dumb. Like I should have, I was mad at myself because the adhesive sheets just then eliminate all of those problems. So
True.
no tips and tricks needed then. You can just
Yeah.
glue it fast. But yeah, it was a fun card. It was interesting that they did 3 different sizes of cards, which I thought was interesting. So they did kind of the full American size card. They did this size, which is actually a note card size. And then they did the A4, I guess the imperial card size. But it was really easy for me just to chop that one down. But did anyone else make card number 2? Oh, let's see. Hold on. Let me spotlight you. Okay, spotlight. Oh yeah. So you cut
I
down.
cut it down a little bit. So,
Yeah.
and then I think when I was watching her do it, she went back and was saying, "Oh, I was supposed to do some little stamps around the edge." I was behind, so I thought, "Oh, I'm going to do that."
That's good. Yeah, she wanted
Yeah,
to
that
show
was
how to
good.
make that pattern back there. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah,
I was all glued
Behind it.
together by the time she announced that. So
yeah. She'd forgotten, I think so.
well, I think one of the things I loved about hearing Shannon present live stamping is it reminded me of things I have to remember. One, I'm human. She's human, right? If Shannon West, the great Shannon West, can mess up several times in a video making 3 cards, I can too. And also how slow you really have to go for people to craft along with you.
Yes, because I was in a hurry.
Yeah.
I did this one too. So I did it. I was playing last night. So,
Pretty.
That really pops that DSP. That's pretty.
Yeah, that DSP is pretty.
so yeah, and I did cut out the flower on that one. So
Yeah, I think that might be my favorite piece in the whole pack for sure. So the other tip that Shannon shared that I've never heard before is to only put dimensionals on the outside of your pieces and then to glue down flat your middle piece. So then So it's sort of like there's dimension and dimension, and then this is all flat glued. And then this has dimension, but then it's all kind of one level of dimension. It's not dimension upon dimension upon dimension. And so it doesn't make it super thick to mail through the mail. And I'd never heard that. And I thought maybe it would look funky at first, like maybe that would look like, but it doesn't look funky. It looks different and I'm getting used to it, but I did it her way just because I wanted to see, like, do I like that? And do I think that's a good tip? You know, I think anything to reduce the post office's pain on my fat envelopes is probably good, right?
Yeah.
So,
So true.
well, what about the third one, Susan?
Okay, so the third one, speaking of being human, be careful how you cut your paper, whether it's horizontal or vertical, because this card was supposed to be this way, but mine, of course, is this way. And so there it is. I just made a happy accident into a creation. So, you know, again, there are these pieces that you could, you know, cut out on adhesive sheets. I do think that would be much better than these fresh freesia flowers. Again, I put them on the sentiment just to add a little pop there. It was the first time in a while I had stamped on DSP rather than cardstock. So I thought that was an interesting look. That is the backside of some of this paper. All of these papers have pretty much florals on one side and then more of wooden vintage look on the other side. Really pretty. And you can see a whole different set of cards coming out of that just using that opposite side. So yeah, so this is this in my collection. So what about anybody else?
Oh, looks about like Melissa's.
Yeah, I think ours look pretty similar. Let me see. I'll replace your spotlight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the little leaves you added in the corner. I do like the I like stamping on the DSP too. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, it looks nice. I wasn't sure I'd like the floral. I just wasn't sure I'd like it, but I do like it. And the color combination is unusual. Like they're not these four colors are not colors I'd put together normally. I mean, fresh freesia, cinnamon cider, garden green, and misty moonlight do not sound like a great color combo, but they turned out really well. So so I actually, my team has a challenge, and so I sent them a mini paper pumpkin box and some scraps, like small pieces. They got like a piece of each of those, and some note cards. So I want to see what they're going to make with that. So I'll definitely, if we've got some good creations, Susan, I can always share them back to you guys too. So hopefully we'll have a little, you know, hopefully a little competition and see who wants to win a Stampin' Up trash bag. Because I still have some of those squirreled away from a year ago, the pop-up trash cans. So everybody loves a good pop-up trash can. But the other thing I was going to say about the swag box is that, hey, it's true. My team will go crazy over this. The cool thing about the swag bag options is that a few of those items are going to be available on the supply list in a few weeks. So I think the supply list items will go live the week of Thanksgiving, according to like the master calendar. But the bag itself with a cute bumblebee, the notepad, the pencils, and then a really nice cardstock swatch sample. So like on a jump ring, having all of our cardstock colors on a jump ring, which is really nice because, you know, you have stared at gray granite and smoky slate before, and I'm sure you've wondered which is which, or a couple of those other colors that are really, really similar. And so it's really nice to have that full range. So the supply.
I did not know that piece of information, Melissa, and I make my own ring of all the colors. So I'll be delighted not to have to do that.
Yeah, that's
that
painful.
is great to know.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm super excited. So, and I'm hoping that they will update it. I don't know if it's just the core colors or if it has the in colors in it, but yeah. So the bag and they've unbranded it for OnStage, so it's just Stampin' Up. But it's still got, Stampin' Up and a bee and everything in that cute little jute bag. So, and the stamp set that we got in the swag bag is actually this one. Let me show it. Let's see. Spotlight. So this is called In the Moment, and it's a beautiful stamp set that there's been an artist, one of the concept artists at Stampin' Up does this style, and there's been several. There's been like a dad and a kid, there's been a mom, there's been grandparents, I think. I'm trying to remember like all the different ones that they've had. And so this artist is just really talented and really distinctive. Like, like I immediately identify like, oh yes, this is just like the other ones. But I really like this one. And what's funny is my daughter got really excited about it. And she was like, I need to color some of those. She was like, you need to stamp them for me and I need to color. I was like, okay. And I wish I had her sample in here, but she did the one with the little dog and it is so cute. And so these are fun. Definitely, you can color them. But I liked that the presenters focused on not as much coloring. So for instance, they stamped it in white Versamark and then used a white watercolor pencil, like on colored cardstock. So like on like Night of Navy cardstock. So that was a really nice example of showing how to not do it. Or they used Stampin' Blends, the blender brushes, or the last one, several presenters used the Wink of Stella as a watercolor brush.
Yeah.
We saw that over and over again this weekend. And so, I thought that was really cool. So I actually did one of these on a very failed Facebook Live this last week that had all sorts of production problems because my Wi-Fi is not so good anymore out here in the country. And I sent some of my team some crafty dice, and I'll have to share with Susan. I'll share the little PDF so that if you wanted to make some of these, you could. But they basically, you roll the dice, and then whatever the dice tells you to make, you make. So if you're ever stuck.
Oh yes, we want that.
I know. I figured you would. So I rolled neutrals, pearls. I don't like neutrals. Neutrals, pearls. I'm trying to remember. Horizontal, friendship, and fussy cutting. Yes,
Oh.
yes. It was my trifecta of badness. But this is what I made.
Oh.
So just fussy cut
Oh.
around her. I use the watercolor pencils, which just are,
Nice.
easy and fast. And then got some little pearls on there. And then this is some of the deer paper that we had all gotten for free during celebration. There's a flip side, a B side that has kind of this neutral pattern. And I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I have pages and pages of it because the other side's not very exciting either. And so I was like, all right, well, here we go. So kind of looks like a blanket or something. So this is a really cute set. And I think a lot of people in your life would like, this resonates, I think, with a lot of people. So, and the sunset that she made with this one was stunning. So, and that's cool because we get access to all of their samples. So we get PDFs for each day that have all the samples of the day made with really nice photos so that we don't have to take a bunch of screenshots while we're watching the presentation. We just get the PDFs afterward. And Kim said the PDFs are up from yesterday too. So I think which is great. So so that's the swag bag and the Heart and Home. And we got some nice things. Like our prize patrol was really nice this time. We got some beautiful brushed brass butterflies.
I was going to let you say that 3
Uh-huh,
times.
I know.
Yeah.
I could see that you weren't going to jump in at all to help me out on that one. Brushed brass butterflies. Brushed brass butterflies. You know that someone's going to go live and someone's going to say the wrong thing. And it'll probably be me and we'll probably die laughing. So we got a set of those. They're actual like metal, but they have, thank goodness, they have adhesive on the back of them. So they have those. And then we also got a frayed white ribbon that you can color. That's really pretty. And then we also got a stamp set.
That's it, yeah.
What was it? Silhouettes.
Amazing silhouettes.
There we go. It's really neat. It's like the negative image. So it's got some, it has a butterfly and like some florals, but it's the negative of it. So it's sort of like sketch art. And then they kind of like super like whited out the butterfly or the flower. It's really pretty. So I feel like for $75, we got a lot of content. We got a lot of samples and insight. I love knowing how the DSP is designed or how, right? Like the fact that there are concept artists that paint those, you know, tulips or paint those backgrounds and then they're photographed and then it's reproduced, you know. And then we got a lot of product and stuff too, and the opportunity to purchase, you know, spring catalog product early. So, and earn celebration early.
Yes. Or that, or like, well, the other thing I thought that was a lot of fun was that everybody may not know that when you reach your $1 million mark in sales, then you get to go to headquarters and design your own stamp sets. So they had several.
wow.
Yeah, it's not a bad gig. And so some of the demonstrators were people who had recently achieved that mark, and they shared demonstrations about their particular stamp set, which was really special to see that. And that's always fun to see what their thought is behind that. Now, I will tell you one of the things that's exciting about next year, because these on stages have been virtual, but next year it's going to be in Salt Lake City. And that means a tour of the headquarters. So it's a good time to be a part of all of this and to think about going next year because
Well, so I don't know, Susan, if it's going to be in Salt Lake City.
oh,
So
I've heard that. Oh darn.
I thought so
I have to
too.
stop saying that.
Well, we were really surprised. So they're
Yeah,
going
tell
to
me
do,
what you know, because I thought that was a done deal.
Kim and I were floored. So on stage, the big 3-day on
Coming.
stage is going to be in Vienna.
Anna.
Oh,
I know. I was like, shall we travel?
Yeah.
Business trip.
I can get to Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But then they'll have North American locations, but most
okay.
likely they won't do it in Salt Lake City, which is kind of a shame.
Yeah.
I know. So there's a rotation, right, for locations. So we do on stage either in North America, in Salt Lake City, or we do it in Europe or in the South Pacific. And I think that because of COVID, we got off the rotation. And I think everyone thought, well, it's our year, right? So, but I think they're honoring the previous rotations. So they're going to Europe. So we will still gather. I
Yeah, we'll still
know.
gather in great locations.
Yes.
And
And we'll still have
so,
a really good time. But
yeah.
I like the on stages that are more hyper local because then it's easier to get to usually. And we usually rent a house or some kind of Airbnb type thing. And we do like a shoebox swap and we have the opportunity to gather. And that will be really sweet after, being apart for so long. So
Yeah, that'll be great. A lot of enthusiasm and excitement in those rooms, as everyone can imagine. So.
Well, and then the other two things. So Saturday had Master Stamper, which was a chopped style challenge, which was really funny. And Chad Williams is our district development manager, and Chad is an IT guy who tells bad dad jokes. That's the best way I can describe him. And he was the host of the Master Stamper, and it was hilarious. And so they had artisan they had concept designers actually competing against one another. And so people who work at the home office were competing against the head concept artist. And that was really funny. And so she was dethroned.
Well, and talk about being human. One of them actually made their card upside down. And so it kind of got disqualified for that, right, Melissa? You know,
that
it's
was
like,
really
oh, I
funny.
feel better now.
That was
That's
really
happened to
funny.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really funny. And that's really the reason she lost, I think. So,
Yeah, 'cause it was cute otherwise. So.
for sure. So, and then the other thing we got to see was there was an interactive presentation on Saturday where people were, they had a poll and you could vote, like, do you want to use this stamp set or this stamp set or this ribbon or this ribbon? And so that was really cool. I think that both of those showed me that the, interactive is better, right? And the more we can have people chime in and, I think it shows how much we want to be a part of it, and I loved seeing behind the scenes, the artisan team, doing some stuff, and, the projects they make, of course, are always over the top, but it was great. And then Sarah and Shelley stamping at the end of Saturday is always a highlight. There's nothing like a mother-daughter combo stamping together. The banter is quick and delightful and funny. And Shelley licked her stamp, which is something I've never seen before. To clean it, she licked it. Apparently, this is something she does. Apparently, she does this often because her daughter chastised her on screen and was like, Mom, you're not supposed to do that. And she was like, I know, I'm not supposed to do that. But she licked it to clean it.
She did it twice too, though.
Shut up. Did she really? I didn't even see it.
Yeah, because after Sarah chastised her, she was like, I know. And then like literally 2 minutes later, she licked it again. I was like,
oh my gosh.
It was so funny. I died laughing. The two of them are so funny together. They're so funny. They're so different, but they're so funny. And their banter is terrific, and nothing like a live unscripted show. And that's actually why they left the end time so late, because that was something that Kim had asked me. Kim was like, is it really over? And I said, yeah, it's over. And I said, but they gave them a lot of buffer because they weren't sure how long they were really going to take, because sometimes they've gone way over. Like there was one on stage where we were there. I mean, they went a good solid 30 minutes over their time slot and they just kept going. I mean, they were on a roll. And so, so I think they gave them extra buffer just in case, That was so funny, but it was really great. I love those little pebbles, the adhesive backed pebbles and the adhesive backed sea glass pieces. Like there is some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff in that spring catalog. So,
and speaking of that, Melissa, why don't we tell them about our joint launch that we're planning?
Yay, I'm so excited.
We're gonna team up and do another event at the Bella Vita Retreat Center in Wimberley. And we're we have it scheduled on January the 17th. So we're planning to do a launch that day so you can see some of the new products that are in the new mini catalog and hear more excitement about celebration. And then we're also planning a card class of some kind. So stay tuned, mark the date. That's MLK Day. So we're hoping that some of our working friends will be off that day and can come. And we have the room booked for the day instead of a Sunday afternoon. So we're very excited about that.
That's going to be a lot of fun. So, and I think just, looking at that catalog, there's so much inspiration and so much fun stuff. And Celebration has a lot of really great items that I think will be a lot of fun to play with. I think everyone will really enjoy it. So,
I think our challenge is going to be picking and choosing what to share because there's a lot of great stuff to share. So
I know
that's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting. And this month, for those that are demonstrators, this is the catalog selector mailing month. So if you have customers that you want to mail a catalog to, this is the month to select that. Don't forget that. And if you want to know more about that, you can talk to your upline. Generally, it's for those of us who have customers who are out of town, who, like I like to hand deliver my catalogs to those who are local, but I've got people in Charleston and, other places that California that, want to get catalogs. And it's nice. They bundled the celebration and the spring catalog together in one mailer, which is nice because then it comes wrapped in plastic. So we know it'll get there in good shape as well. I always love that. And it'll be all together for one price. So, and if you aren't on Susan's, if you're a customer still and you're not a demo yet, I'm sure Susan's got you covered, but I don't see, but yeah, I think that the celebration offering is strong. There's lots of papers, some cute stamp sets, and something for everyone. There's also the $100 one is a DSP and stamp combo that the stamps actually stamp on the DSP, which is really cool. And I don't think we've had anything like that. Not in my knowledge. So that's really cool when the DSP and the stamp set coordinate in that way. I think that's really cool. So you can tell they're definitely innovating and working hard to give us amazing things to play with, So any things that you guys like the best? Like what's it for those of you who came, would you like to tell us a spring catalog product that you're most interested about? Like which one are you most interested in of the spring catalog? Kim, you've been perusing, so.
I mean, definitely the Horizon paper, the paper that Sarah and Shelley used at the very end was just so amazing. But I also really like the daffodils and how like the die cut gave you kind of like a 3D daffodil that you kind of hold, which kind of gives a lot of interesting texture without using embellishments.
Yeah. I think that was the tulips though, just FYI.
Yes, the tulips, sorry.
Because there's also daffodils. So yes, which is going to get confusing. We're going to have a lot of florals, shocking. I know. That's funny. Colleagues like, what? More florals? I know. We always laugh. We're like, it's not a catalog unless there's some florals. So anybody else have a spring catalog product that you're really excited about? Mm-hmm. Oh, Sarah, what about you?
I pre-ordered the rainbows to start with. I do like the hearts and stuff, but I started with the rainbows and thought I could combine that with my celebration free item and also get the paper. So I have the stamps, the dies, and the paper to start off with.
Yeah, I think that'll be very popular. And Marianne might have just died when she saw that. So yeah, there's a lot of love coming over here for that. Who else? Anybody else saw something in the spring catalog that you loved? Patsy Palmer, what about you? What are you excited about?
The Blessings of Home bundle, because I haven't. Yeah. So I was looking at that. And also the daffodil.
Oh, you like the daffodils? And there's daffodil paper from Celebration. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I really love the paper. I know that it's not on the premiere, but the New Horizons set and the paper. Love that. That was first choice.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous with the mountains and that paper. We're going to do so many nice things with it. So awesome. Let's see, who else? Jill, did you have something from the spring catalog that you loved?
I just looked it over with Sarah this early evening. I was trying to think of what one it was that's going to challenge me that I wanted to do. And it might be the New Horizons. I can't remember which one had more the watercolor kind of deal to it. So that's something I'm not as versed in. So I'm looking forward to challenging myself on that.
That's a beautiful set. I think it'll be That'd be nice. Janet, what about you? Was there something you really liked from the spring catalog?
Right now, my mind is blank. So,
You're just so overwhelmed with all the beauty.
yeah. I mean, the rainbows were cute that she did with the Chop Challenge card. They did a good job with those. So
Yeah.
those were cute. And I'm thinking, go back to that paper pumpkin too that had rainbows. So
Yeah, that was a good one. We ate that one up. I really liked, and I don't know what it's called, but the one that had all the leaves, like the monster leaves, and there's a whole like kind of leaf motif one that was really nice, that I thought was pretty. And then the artfully composed, I think, paper was really pretty too. There's a lot of artsy paper that I think we can do hopefully a lot with, some swishes and some, like the marble in the celebration is kind of cool, like that marble paper. Yeah, there's a lot of and there's also a strong 70s vibe going on too, like the daffodils have a strong 70s vibe. There's definitely, I was like, okay, I'm getting heavy 70s here. So but it's all back, right? Susan, what about you? What was your
Initially, of course, I have run through the new catalog 2 or 3 times by now, and just looking. But one of the things that struck me, and I think it's because I didn't do as much with the last one that was Cactus, but I loved that Cactus Stamp Set. I thought it was really cute, and I just saw instantly that could make a lot of different cards and scrapbook pages and more. So that's
sentiments, Susan.
Yes.
Like, you're on point or whatever. I don't know. Like, it was, I mean,
it was very cute.
So cute. Yeah, that was nice.
It caught my eye, because I always love the florals, but I kind of moved past the florals into what else is here, and that one jumped up. So
yeah.
Anyway, and what was the folder that we were all oohing and eyeing over?
Oh, the gingham. The
gingham folder.
Oh, it's cute.
Yeah, we were pretty excited about that too. So.
Yeah, I was having a hard time, like the gingham, I don't know, maybe I need it straight or something. I don't know what it is. Like, maybe I don't like it on an angle. I'm going to try it straight and see if I like it a little better. But yeah, that one's really cute. So
what is that what is it?
It's a gingham folder, an embossing folder that makes gingham. It's really cute. And then the slimline dies and the slimline envelopes. I know we're all very excited about that for those of us who don't want to make our own envelopes, but really want to do slimline and don't want to mail things in business envelopes, as I've been doing. So that was really cool. I think the slimline envelopes would have been forgotten. I really think it was very hard to see them. So
an interesting thing about those was that they're 3 colors. They're not white, they're like gray and soft succulent, and because Jill and I were looking at those and I was like, wait, how are they getting them green?
And they've got them like a liner, like they have a patterned liner as well. Yeah, so those will be really nice. I think we can have a lot of fun with those too. So
gonna say that I so liked the slimline envelopes when we saw those too.
Yeah. Yeah, the slimline cards are popular. I mean, Lisa, anything else you liked from the catalog? Yeah. You muted yourself, but
I love the slimline. I didn't get to see them though. I don't remember, but I love slimline cards, and I like the daffodils.
Yeah.
The ones that you could stamp and the stuff that you stamped on the paper. That was awesome. Brilliant.
Yeah, no, it's a really strong catalog. So Candy messaged me though, and she said, you must be dying with all this Dutch stuff. And I said, yes. And I said, I will not be building any of those very fancy projects that she showed off though. Like that was insane. Leave it to the British people to make, I don't know what, like they have some sort of, man, they have a lot of free time on their hands or something, because like there is no way I'm making any of those projects. But yeah, my mom's from the Netherlands, for those of you that don't know. So the Dutch stuff is obviously going to be on the shopping list.
Yeah, that lady with the windmills was just like, okay, no.
Yeah.
With the
My
box,
first thought
with the
was, how in the
windmill and the
world,
drawer, and no.
I mean, I've never
how would
seen.
you ever teach that virtually? There's no way, you know.
I mean, I would be
No,
lucky to be able to
overwhelming.
do it in person, you know,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
that was,
Well,
had like a magnetic closure in a secret compartment. And
Yeah.
this thing was like a box that then had like a rooftop, and the rooftop piece had like a secret compartment that you could stick things in. And then it had the windmill that turned, and then it had like
Turned, yeah.
and it had a drawer in the bottom that then pulled out, and like, I don't know, something Shanghaied out of that too. And I
so
mean,
cool as it was, that probably won't be what we're working on in January. Cool as
Yeah.
it was.
Although it was kind of cool. If you look, I
Yeah.
looked at the
That's great.
stamps that, when she was doing them, it was hard to tell that it was actually flowers, but it is separate flowers. It looked just like a blob when she was doing it on screen. But if you look at the actual stamps, they're kind of cool with the little triangle and then
yeah,
doing
see,
the edges. And
the rows of tulips or whatever. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
beautiful. I mean, it's a beautiful suite. And I mean, anybody who's been to the Netherlands or loves flowers or loves windmills or any of that, I mean, and I'm sure that all of the Netherlands will buy it. So the whole country's in for that one. So, but
Can't wait to see Saturday's broadcast, since we missed it with the craft show.
I know Jill and Sarah both had craft fairs on Saturday, and so we were messaging them the highlights. But when the full recordings are posted, that will be great. So
I can't wait.
yeah, Saturday was really good. Friday had a lot of breakout sessions, and that's good. Those are taped, and they're from demonstrators, and so it's nice to hear from demonstrators what works for demonstrators. I think sometimes it's a different feel, although a lot of people who work at Stampin' Up are demonstrators. Like Sarah is a demonstrator, and she has home parties, and she hands out catalogs and does everything, the CEO. But so is Natalie's a demonstrator. The one who's retiring at the end of this year, oh goodness, the blonde older lady who's like did a lot of the talking. Not Pam Jorgensen. What's her name? Anyway, she's a demonstrator too. So there's quite a few of them that are demonstrators as well. But it's a little different when you're like a demonstrator and you work at Stampin' Up versus being a demonstrator, out on the mean streets. So, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a really fulfilling couple of days. And I think that they did a really nice job balancing lots of creativity and tips and techniques and tricks, and with some business minded stuff and some kind of hobby, how to share what you love, kind of tips. So
I would say stay tuned, because we're going to be, sharing a lot of this, in the coming weeks, and getting ready for January to hit, as we are continuing with our current activities like Christmas and all that happens with that. But it's going to be fun to anticipate what's on the horizon, and our goal is to make sure that you all know what's coming up next. And don't forget the seasonal sale this week, of the different discounts for things. That's a good thing to take advantage of right now, especially if there's basic stuff that you need or dies that are discounted.
yeah, so that's so the seasonal sale and the product purchase premiere. So if you went to OnStage and you bought a ticket, you can participate in the product purchase premiere, which gives you access to some of the suites, not all. I think it's like maybe 5 or 6 suites. And you can earn celebration items, and it has to be on a demonstrator order. But you can also add anything else you want to that order, and you earn celebration items on that order. So you could add stamps or inks or dies or whatever you need, envelopes. I need a lot of envelopes right now. I'm out. It's that time. So, and you earn celebration on that as well. And it overlaps by one day on November the 16th on Tuesday, where you can do product purchase premiere and the seasonal sale on the same day and get celebration rewards on your demonstrator order if you went to OnStage and you have access to that product purchase premiere. So there's a magical moment there. So just know that. But then remember, everyone else who's a demonstrator will start to earn celebration rewards in December. So in December, you can pre-order from the new catalog and you can start to earn your celebration rewards in December. And the only thing I would caution you about, and this is something Patsy and I've talked about, is that you don't start to earn the demonstrator benefits of celebration until celebration actually starts in January. So be smart about, so you know how like if you sell $1,000 during celebration, you get an extra 50 CSV, or if you recruit somebody, you get CSV or whatever. None of that starts to accrue until celebration actually starts in January. So be mindful of that, like get what you need to get in December to plan your first classes or your catalog launch or whatever, but be mindful that you're not going to earn the demonstrator rewards on celebration until celebration actually starts in January. And I think that's something that has bitten a few of us in the tushy, because we get so excited and we just want to like, oh my gosh, it's December. We can order whatever we want from the spring catalog. And then we're like, oh yeah, but if I had held some of that, then that would have helped my celebration total, because now celebration is only 2 months long. So it really is important to, yeah, it's really important to capitalize on those 2 months instead of the 3 months that we used to have. So any questions about that? Does that make sense to everybody? And if it doesn't, it's okay, Carmen. You can get lots of questions answered as you go, Lisa too. So you guys are brand new. Don't worry, we keep answering all the questions. So, but there's just tricks that we've learned over the years. This is my 9th. Well, I don't know, I guess because now we had 2 celebrations, 10th celebration. I don't know what it is, right? But we've learned some tips and tricks to maximize those benefits for sure. So, and there won't be a celebration refresh like we've had in years past. It's going to run just like this year, where we have 2 months of celebration, January, February. What you see is what you get. Those are the products we're going to have. And then the same thing for the celebration in the summer. So.
Listen, we were looking, Jill and I were looking, and we didn't see anything recruiting incentive.
It is very understated. They will get 2 free stamp sets. They can pick any 2 free stamp sets other than hostess sets. I think that's usually the exclusion. So if someone joins in January or February, they would get 2 free stamp sets. Now this month they get $125 for $75, which is a really good deal. So this month, my angle is, get yourself what you really want for Christmas this year, which is a Stampin' Up demonstratorship and your own discount, right? Like, so, because there's nothing good at Target right now. So, but yeah, so that'll be that. And so there's nothing like extra special or unique. It's just that they get to pick 2 stamp sets. It's very understated when you look at the celebration brochure.
Yeah.
Easy to miss.
I hunted for it.
Got to read the fine print on that one.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
So good. Other questions?
I do. In the celebration catalog, are they offering any ribbons or embellishments for free? Or is it paper and stamps only?
Paper and stamps.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not sure that they're going to do a lot of embellishments. They said that they wouldn't do embellishments in the January, February one because of Lunar New Year impacting shipping and production. And so I know that they're not going to do embellishments or ribbon in a spring celebration. We could see them in a summer celebration, but we won't see them in a spring celebration. They had a lot of issues with that in the past. So, good. Other questions? I think the catalogs will be available to everybody like on Tuesday or Wednesday. So even if you didn't attend OnStage at Home, you can peruse the catalogs then. online, please don't share them with customers. You can't share the online catalog. Why? Did someone ask why?
Because we signed a contract that says you can't do that.
Yeah, I was like,
Yes,
well,
that would be it.
namely because they end up making knockoffs, and they hurt Stampin' Up's intellectual property when they do that. So that's one of the reasons why they've been trying to limit that. But yeah, so everybody should be able to see the new catalog in a couple of days if you haven't seen it already. It is beautiful. There is wonderful stuff. As always, I feel like their designer series paper game is just getting better. Like they keep, I honestly wonder how they keep making it better, but then they do. So, and I think I was able to process 100 Christmas cards and 100 other cards for my craft sales. So cards processed, ready for sale. Like it was a productive weekend for me too. So hopefully you guys did some other productive, fun things too while you were watching and hanging out. So, and the recordings are available through the end of January. So if you did attend, you have until the end of January to watch the recordings.
So
this will
listen,
be.
oh, go ahead, please.
No, go ahead, Terry.
In the new catalog, are we going to see any papers that are not regular type of paper? Like, will there be any new vellums or fluffies or dotted Swiss or?
There is some gorgeous new vellum. Yeah, gorgeous. That has like letters written on it. And what was the other piece? It wasn't the Gettysburg Address, but it was something else really crazy.
Like a marbly, swirly black vellum.
Yeah.
It's also a new size. I don't know if anybody else caught that, but there's a 4x6 size in one of the papers, which we used to have way back, but they're bringing it back again.
Oh, I did hear somebody talking about that, and they had a reason for that. Like there was some, like, was it Sarah or Shelley that was talking about why someone mentioned why they thought that was a great idea?
Well, I guess it's because it's like the card front width already. And when you have 6x6, you chop it to 4x5 1/4 anyway. So it's already 4. And we used to have little pads of it when we had a whole separate scrapbooking catalog. So I guess, you can use it for cutting letters or whatever, I mean, it's just, you chop a lot of your paper that size anyway. So it's interesting that they brought back that one pack. And so we'll see how that goes,
I mean,
maybe
that's
that has to do with slimline cards.
Yeah.
Yes, I think slimline, are they, I don't know how long they are. I don't know the dimensions because I haven't done them in a bit, but I'm not
they
sure.
might be 6 might not be long enough for a slim line.
That's what I was thinking.
I
That
don't
I think they're 9x4 on a slim line. A slim line card's 9x4.
yeah, so that's not even the reason why, but maybe, I don't know. I haven't
You could get 2 card fronts at 3 inches across at, so was it 8 inches tall? And then maybe enough for a regular card at the top of that left over.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Yeah, the Abstract Beauty, that's the one that's 4x6. I cut my DSP that size when I do little like sample shares, like 4x6 is kind of my easy cut when I'm taking a big pack and like splitting it up. So yeah, maybe, they're going to test it out with this pack and see how it does. The paper is really pretty. And there is
for scrapbookers, 4x6.
It's true.
Yeah.
Trim your photo just a hair. It's a nice photo mat.
Yeah, that's true
Really
too.
good doing that too.
Yeah, and I think the other fancy paper that's coming out, so there's the vellum, there's this paper called Supple Shimmer, and then there's a mother of pearl paper as well.
Which one is the stamp coordinated one? I missed that totally.
Oh, that's in the Celebration catalog. And that is I think it's Hello. Let me see. I was going to look and see what the name was. I can't show you the catalog. Sorry. Or else
we just looked through it.
Friendly Hello. So on Saturday, I think this is one of the ones you guys missed on Saturday. They showed how you can stamp on the Friendly Hello paper with the stamp set, like the leaves and the flowers, like stamp onto the DSP. It's really pretty. So yeah, Friendly Hello. It has a cute little bird and kind of the bright colors like Pool Party and apple green, granny apple green, fresh freesia, petal pink. It's cute paper. So, but yeah, a lot of really pretty paper. There's a nice Hey Sports Fan masculine set that's very baseball oriented. So you guys know I was jazzed about that. As I sit over here dying. Someday they'll come up with a computer nerd paper and stamp set, and then we'll be in hog heaven over here. So, and then I can make my husband a card. But so far, we're not hitting it out of the park yet. So, but yeah, strong catalog and great celebration offerings, lots of fun, cute things. And I usually have my daughter look through the catalog just to get her glance at what's trendy. And she said, what was the word she used? There was some phrase she used. She's like, that's very something. And I was like, okay, that must be cool. Like, and the plants and, still a
There's
lot
a
of.
cute girl on a bicycle too, I think it was. Was she on a bicycle or I don't remember what she was on. There was a little girl though, not little, but a girl.
Oh, that's funny. Yes, she said it was very aesthetic. That's the word she used. She was like, that has a really nice aesthetic. Apparently that's the term that all the cool kids are using nowadays. And there's lots of sweet things too, like cute little bunnies and the hedgehog and a bubble gum holder thing that has little
That was super cute.
Yeah, that has like little bubble gum, like candy pieces that you can put in there. They're not real candy. Don't eat them. People are going to eat them, aren't they? Okay, darn it.
Did you see any patriotic or something that could be made patriotic?
I did not see anything that evoked that for me.
No, Terry, I don't think I saw anything at first glance.
What about the baseball? Wouldn't that be more of the patriotic colors?
Yeah, baseball.
Or the kites, maybe. The kites.
Oh, the kites. Yeah.
You can make the kite work.
We've done a few of them along the way, but maybe because we're not necessarily at war anymore, or we're not going to be, they're kind of backing off with that a little bit.
I also find that they don't do that in the spring catalog. If they bring out a patriotic one, they usually put it in the annual and they keep it all year. So that is true. The ones we've had that have been patriotic in the past have been in an annual catalog. So, yeah, and then it was great to see all the Hardest Stampin' Up award winners and hear about their special projects and see how the projects have happened from this last year or two and kind of what the new projects are. So that's a really neat segment too. So, yeah.
Did I see Jamie Albanese get something?
She got that last year and her project is finished. And so they did a little recap. And Jamie, they talked about the Joseph Storehouse and the donated backpacks and stuff. I think they ended up having like over 600 donated backpacks or something. It was crazy. So, but that's for kids in foster care. So, yeah, and then the other one is dogs that are one of the new ones is dogs that are rescued and then turned into like guide dogs, like assistant dogs, and they train them and they take them from shelters to basically being lifesavers for these people. And that was really cool. That was really neat to hear about that. So, and then the other one was the next award winner is a house that is for folks who have Down syndrome or like adults who want to do independent living but are intellectually disabled. And so they're doing like a craft room for them, and they're going to fund the crafts in the craft room and everything like that for them. So up in the Northeast, I think New Jersey or there somewhere. So yeah, it was really
good thing about Stampin' Up is how they give back. So.
Yeah, they have a great heart. So, but well, good. Any other questions, comments? We did it. It was an hour. I think.
Thank you all for joining. It's great. We wanted to be able to give this recap and kind of whet your appetite if you were there to hear what you thought was great, and if you weren't there to let you know there's a lot of good on the horizon, right, Alyssa?
Definitely.
So much fun.
I've got my windmills turning. So,
So where will this be posted, the recording that we're doing?
so I'm going to put it on YouTube, and I'll put the link. I'll send you the link, Susan, and you can
Okay.
post it in your group, and I'll post it in mine, so that
Perfect.
I'll probably just put it on my two groups, my VIP group and my business group. And then I'll send it to Marlene because I know she wanted it. So, although she pops onto my weekly Facebook lives all the time. So, but
I
yeah,
had 3 or 4 people who couldn't be here who were real excited that we were going to record. So
yeah,
anyway,
for
thank
sure.
you for doing that.
Yeah, lots to
All right,
love.
y'all.
Yeah. So thanks, y'all. I'll
Everybody
stop the
have a creative
recording.
week.
Bye.
Good Thanksgiving. We'll talk
Bye.
soon.